us all the way from everywhere. You're just
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Everybody said, "Where do you live?" I said, "The Hamptons."
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Soundoff is on the line, Tommy. He has a question for you. Go ahead, Mr. Soundoff.
I have gotten on this TV show and I have asked City Council, any of them. I've asked the mayor to come on TV. I've challenged them. I've dared them to come up and tell us how many millions have been stolen from the tobacco money, how much has been recovered, because I know. It's bad, but they won't come on TV. The second thing, do you believe there's corruption in this city and prejudice against the black people, even to the point of shutting Blue Park down years ago and taking the basketball courts out because it got too black?
What a question.
Yep. Well,
Wow.
it's not a secret. I'm 60, and I was raised in Danville I was very young through the civil rights movement, and my father was a bail bondsman who was instrumental in bailing out the demonstrators, and he gave me the history, things that I couldn't remember. I've studied. Danville is in the paperwork of Dr. Martin Luther King. And Dr. King said that Birmingham, Danville, was one of the most racist cities he has ever visited throughout his demonstrations and throughout the whole civil rights movement. And it has been that way. It has been that way. I can remember as a kid living in North Danville, walking to Grasses School on New Street, which is now New Hope Church.
Right.
And we would get pushed off the sidewalk from the kids who were going to either Stonewall Jackson or Woodrow. And it was not good. On Watson Street, there was a dance school that blacks were not allowed to go to. Right above the grocery store, which was on Watson Street.
Okay.
It has been.
So it's been bad.
It has been bad. It has been bad a lot.
But fast forward to now, a lot of people say it hasn't changed.
It hasn't. The face of it has changed, and right. It's a hidden. It's more. It was a hidden racism.
But they go spend their money in the strip bars in Greensboro because
Right.
I work in them.
It was a hidden racism, but now, once the first term and the second term of President Obama, people really showed their real side. And when you start quoting, "Let's take back America," what does that mean?
Someone said that's a code. Someone called in last night. Mr. Soundoff, do you remember the young lady? Because you and her kind of challenged each other last night, and she said that's a
Let's talk
code.
about Trump. I didn't like because everything Trump said, like I said, no matter what it is, all of a sudden the news comes on.
But you're a Trump supporter, though, Mr. Soundoff. I want to make it clear because you said last night you were a Trump supporter. You have not made that any secret. He's a Trump supporter.
Different. And taking back, I don't think it's got nothing to do with racial. I think it's got something to do with these other countries.
Right.
But we go over there and we fight their wars and spend billions and billions of dollars, and we don't get nothing from it. I'm going to go right along with Trump. If we're going to go to Syria and fight these wars and everything, we ought to get the oil.
Tommy, let's show those rallies,
don't get
baby.
paid for this.
Well, when you have hatred at your rallies, and when you see black people at your rallies, and you say arrest them, or I'll pay your legal fees if you beat them up, I have a problem with Trump with that. I have a problem.
You don't think that's racial, Mr. Soundoff?
Well, he don't have nothing to do with what people do because, there's rednecks everywhere. Let's be honest.
But if he agreed to pay their legal bills, if they're arrested, he's a part of it.
Well, I don't know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, we need something different. He's got some good ideas if he can do it. But how many presidents have we got up in there and said they could do it just like these city councilmen, and they lie?
And if you saw the two black women who were paid to stump for Trump, did you remember that?
I remember that.
The two black ladies who went up to said they were for Trump and they were stumping for Trump. And just like Lee Vogel probably has promised some of these black people, he probably said, I'm on city council and I'll promise you a board appointment. I'll promise you.
And we welcome him to call in.
Yeah.
And I welcome those who support him
I
to call in.
guarantee you, it's something that they want from him.
Right.
That they think that he can provide them with.
Right.
It's reason they are supporting him.
Brian Hood was quoted as saying he has great ideas.
Yeah, he has great ideas.
Right.
What great ideas?
Lie, but our city council ain't good liars because they get caught in it. All they do is sit up there, vote on something, and all of them, yeah, and pat each other on the back and clap.
That's
Saunders sitting down there yesterday, that damn river sign, that was the wildest thing. I mean, that was the most urgent thing it ever was.
Let me tell you this.
Whoever built this city, built the hospital.
Let me tell you this. This was always, when my dad was a bail bondsman, that was every year, Jessica, it was always a white guy would come to Danville as an undercover agent. And he would always team up with one well-known black person who would take him from house to house to bootleg joints, to liquor joints, to things that were illegal.
I hear people saying,
and
true.
They were always team up for people. You know, at the time, it was street numbers. And they would he would always team up to this one black person that they would pay to take him around. And I would say, Jessica, this is a good white man. He's with me. Sell him a drink of liquor.
You think that happens now? That's why you're bringing up that example.
That's why I'm bringing up that example. That's what Lee is doing to black folks in Denver. He is trotting them through the city to get exactly what he wants. And then after he gets what he wants, you're not going to see. You're not going to see that.
You agree, Mr. Soundoff.
Exactly. It's just like doing drug busts, like he's talking about. They use these people. First, they lie to them. They might get busted with a little marijuana. Well, you're going to get 2 or 3 years in jail, which that's a lie to start with.
Yeah.
And they scare them. Then they use them till they can't use them no more and promise them no time at all. But then when they can't use them no more, they burn them.
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't. They are too. If it's at the end of the day, and Lee Vogel has to make a decision, whether to save this black man's life in the lifeboat or save this white man's life, I guarantee you, Brian Hood would drown.
Well, let me make it clear too. Brian Hood was here last week, and we do have the footage. He said he's also supporting another city council candidate and not just Lee Vogler. Mr. Soundoff, we do need to take a break to make room for our guests, but you are welcome to call back in the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to be here after 8 o'clock as well, okay?
All right.
All right, Mr. Soundoff and Tommy Bennett. Marcus Hughes will join us next. When we come back, what we're going to do, not only Councilman Vogler, but we're going to go down the list of each candidate that's running for city council, and we're going to give Mr. Bennett's opinion on what he thinks about them for the next term here in Danville, Virginia. And I know you're trying to call. We're getting calls. I'm getting messages, Tommy. People said, I'm trying to get through. And hold on, caller. We'll take